You spend a third of your life, give or take, completely unconscious. And we obsess over the hardware, right? The fancy mattresses, the memory foam pillows, the blackout curtains. But we almost never think about the single most critical decision we make every single night: how we actually position our body for those 8 hours of recovery. Well, today we're going to change that.
Because that go-to position you flop into without a second thought, it isn't just about what feels comfy in the moment. It's an 8-hour-long commitment. And it can either be a masterclass in physical therapy or a slow-motion injury happening night after night. So let's figure out which side of that line you're on.
Yeah, this really isn't about what feels cozy. It's about physics. It's about your biology. Your sleep position is kind of like this echo from our evolutionary past, a nightly stress test on your spine's integrity, your airway's openness, and whether your nervous system can truly deeply rest. Okay, let's get into it. All right, we have to start with the absolute worst of the worst. There's just no way to sugarcoat this one. If you're a stomach sleeper, and hey, that's about 7% of you listening right now, I want you to think of this as a friendly intervention.
This is what's known as the Freefall position. You know the one. You're face down, your head is cranked all the way to one side, maybe you're even hugging your pillow. Now, psychologically, I get it. It feels incredibly secure, almost like a primal instinct to protect your vital organs. But here's the thing. While your brain is feeling safe, your body is in the middle of a low-grade crisis.
And that's the real conflict here, isn't it? There's this massive disconnect between the feeling of comfort and the mechanical reality, which is, frankly, a bit of a disaster. You're basically putting your entire musculoskeletal system into a subtle, 8-hour-long stress test every single night.
And here's a look at the actual damage report. I mean, just think about it. Your neck is forced into a 90-degree angle for hours. That's a recipe for chronic pain, for headaches, for pinched nerves. At the same time, gravity is pulling your stomach down, which flattens the natural, healthy curve in your lower back. Now, the only, and I really mean the only upside, is that it can sometimes help with snoring, but you are trading your long-term spinal health for a quieter night. That is a terrible, terrible bargain.
So, okay, if stomach sleeping is the clear villain here, then sleeping on your back has to be the hero, right? The perfect solution? Well, not so fast. This is where we run into the great paradox of sleep positions. Back sleeping is both the absolute best for alignment and the riskiest for something else entirely.
And you'll see two main styles here. First, you've got the soldier position, arms down by your sides. This offers pretty much perfect spinal alignment. Then you have the starfish, with arms up over your head. It's still great for your spine, but now you're introducing the risk of shoulder strain and that annoying pins and needles feeling from compressing a nerve.
But let's talk about the rewards, because they are huge. Your entire skeleton, from the top of your head to your tailbone, is in a perfectly neutral, supported line. It's just the best position for giving your joints a rest. Oh, and bonus round, your face isn't smushed into a pillow for 8 hours, which helps prevent those sleep wrinkles. Your dermatologist will thank you.
But, and this is a major but, here's the biological cost. When you lie on your back, our old friend gravity takes over, pulling your tongue and soft palate straight back into your airway. For a lot of us, this is what causes snoring to get way, way worse. And for anyone with sleep apnea, it can be downright dangerous, leading to these repeated pauses in breathing all through the night.
So, if stomach sleeping is the villain and back sleeping is this high-risk, high-reward hero, that leads us to our true champion, side sleeping. For most people, this is the biological sweet spot. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at the numbers. An absolutely staggering 80% of people are side sleepers in one form or another. That's not a coincidence. That's our collective, intuitive biological wisdom telling us something important.
The most popular of these is, of course, the fetal position. It's like our evolutionary default setting. Psychologically, it takes us back to a feeling of safety, like an echo of the womb. And biologically, it does two amazing things at once. It keeps our airway open, and it keeps our spine in a pretty decent curve.
But you have to do it right. There's a right way and a wrong way. The biggest mistake people make is curling up into a super tight ball. When you do that, you're actually restricting your diaphragm, which is the main muscle you use for breathing. That means you can't get those deep, restorative breaths. The key is to keep it loose and relaxed. And of course, there are other styles. You've got the log, body straight, arms at your sides.
It's great for the spine, but you might wake up with a numb arm. And then there's the yearner, with arms stretched out in front, which can put a lot of strain on your shoulders and nerves over time. Okay, so you've decided to be a side sleeper. Awesome. But don't get too comfortable just yet, because it turns out there's one more layer to this. One detail that almost everyone misses, and it can make a massive difference in how you feel. Believe it or not, for the vast majority of people, your left side is actually better to sleep on than your right. And no, this isn't some old wives' tale, it's just a simple fact of our internal anatomy and the good old force of gravity. It all comes down to how we're plumbed. Your stomach actually sits slightly to the left, and its exit is on the right. So when you sleep on your left side, gravity helps move food and waste along through your intestines more efficiently. It also keeps your stomach below your esophagus, which makes it much harder for acid to splash up and cause heartburn. And for pregnant women, it's especially crucial because it improves blood flow. It's a no-brainer, left is best. So, we've gone through the rankings, we've looked at the science, but the final piece of the puzzle isn't about just picking number one from a list. It's about taking all this information and using it to build your own personal blueprint for the best possible recovery. And here's a cool thought. What if you're someone who doesn't stick to just one position? So many of us are combination sleepers, right? We shift around all night long. Well, that's not just random restlessness. A lot of the time, that's actually your body's own innate intelligence at work, instinctively moving you to redistribute pressure and prevent you from getting stiff.
And the good news is we can help our body out. For example, hugging a pillow isn't just for comfort, it's biomechanics. It supports your top arm and shoulder, improving alignment. Plus, it actually triggers the release of oxytocin, which is a calming hormone. And if you're someone who struggles with acid reflux, apnea, or even just sinus congestion, sleeping on a slight incline with a wedge pillow can be an absolute game changer.
Okay, so that brings us back to the big one, the ultimate question we've been building towards. After all this analysis, after weighing all the pros and cons, what is the single best way to sleep? And the answer is, the question is wrong. There is no single universal best position. The real best position is an equation that you have to solve for yourself. It's whatever position best solves for your unique challenges, whether that's back pain or snoring or acid reflux. The goal isn't to force yourself into a position that doesn't work for you. The goal is to listen to the signals your body is sending and to respond to them intelligently. So, if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this. Your sleep position is not just some passive, random habit. It is an active choice you make every night. So tonight, when you get into bed, don't just collapse. Take a second. Remember that you are setting the blueprint for your body's repair shop for the next 8 hours. You have the knowledge now, so choose that blueprint wisely.